Thank you for standing by. At this time, all participants are in a listen-only mode. After today's presentation, you will have the opportunity to ask questions, and at that time you may do so by pressing star then 1 on your phone or entering it into the Q&A box at any time during the presentation. Today's conference call is being recorded. If you have objections to this, you may disconnect at this time. And now I will turn the call over to your host for today, Mr. Kenneth McDonnell. Sir, you may begin.
Thank you, and welcome everybody. I'd like to thank you for taking the time out of your very busy days to attend this educational webinar. You'll see here on this title slide that the name of our project is the Community Financial Education Project, and you will learn through this webinar how we at the CFPB, with our local and national partners, are working with librarians to empower consumers financially. Here, our standard disclaimer. This is to tell you that the things that I say here are attributed to me and not to be reflected on the Bureau or any current matters pending before the Bureau, and that this is a strictly educational webinar presentation. The agenda that we'll have for this webinar will be an introduction to the CFPB and the CFPB's Division of Consumer Education and Engagement. We'll go over the need for financial education. We'll discuss then about libraries and the CFPB working together. We'll go over some of the finer points within the Community Financial Education Project. And we'll have a slide with a call to action, and then we'll conclude with a Q&A session. There we go. Okay, this is who your representative is today. That is me. My name is Ken McDonnell. I'm with the Office of Financial Education, and my title is Financial Education Program Analyst. See here is my email address, is my full name, kenneth.mcdonnell@cfpb.gov. Please feel free to write down that email, and if you'd like to submit questions to me later that you may have missed or thought of like the next day, please feel free to reach out to me with any questions that you may have. Start out here with the CFPB's statutory objectives. And these statutory objectives were laid out for the Bureau by the Dodd-Frank Act. The objective of the Bureau is authorized to exercise its authority for the purpose of ensuring that, with respect to consumer financial products and services, consumers are provided with timely and understandable information to make responsible decisions about financial transactions. And that first bullet point there is the one that we'll be focusing on. That is what we focus on here in our office, the Office of Financial Education. And it's through that statutory objective that we're working with libraries across the country to help meet that objective. All right, you'll see the CFPB's overview of the organization of the Bureau. You'll see that it is divided up into 6 divisions. First division at the top there, Consumer Education and Engagement, is the division in which my office, the Office of Financial Education, is located. And this division is responsible for developing and implementing initiatives to educate and empower consumers to make better financial decisions. I'd like to emphasize that we wish to empower consumers so that they feel in control of their financial lives and they feel that they will be able to make the most appropriate decisions for themselves. Mission of CEE. CEE creates opportunities for people to enable themselves to make choices about money that best serve their own life goals. And one thing I like about this mission statement is that it's all about the individuals. It's empowering them to help them make the decisions that they know that are best for them. Accomplish this mission by developing and maintaining tools, programs, and initiatives that provide information to consumers, help build skills, and to serve individual financial well-being. We help Americans by connecting them with information and tools to help understand money management and other money topics, and this is where libraries really come into play for us. We help develop overall financial capability skills and financial decision-making to support people as they identify and respond to the opportunities and challenges of their financial lives, build individual wealth, prepare for ongoing and later life financial security. Steps to prepare the next generation for financial access by developing money management skills and habits. We like to help the youth develop money skills early on in life so they feel empowered and able to manage their money topics as they go on in life. And this slide, you will see, I'm unable to hear you. I can speak a bit louder and pull myself closer to the phone. We have here in slide.
I suspect they are trying to listen to the computer. So I'll send an email.
My colleague Irene will be responding to this inquiry. Oops, took me off there.
Sorry.
Thank you. You see here in this slide, these are the structure of the division Consumer Education and Engagement. The division is composed of 6 offices. 2 offices, Financial Education and Consumer Engagement, are empowered to reach out to all Americans across the country. And in Financial Education, we provide targeted educational content, identify and provide effective financial education practices. In Consumer Engagement, they create interactive and informational relationships with consumers. They manage our blog, social media, and other components of our website. The other divisions, our offices within the division, serve a particular population group. We have members that work to service members, veterans, and their family members. An office for older Americans, the audience for that group is individuals aged 62 and older. 82 is the first age of eligibility for Social Security benefits. The next one is students and young consumers, and really targets an audience in an age range of 16 to 28. And these are the people that are just starting out in life. We want to help the college students and those who have chose not to go into college, but to go into the work world. They'll still need also the financial capability, just tools and decision processes. An office for financial empowerment. This looks at communities that are economically vulnerable and low-income communities. And this audience is of 33% of Americans that earn less than twice the poverty line in the United States. So we do make our efforts to reach out to a broad variety of population groups within this division. Next slide, we're going to start the need. As you see on this slide, 65% of U.S. adults lack high confidence in their ability to achieve a financial goal. And this comes out of a survey that we conducted back in 2016, our National Financial Wellbeing Survey. This is a clear stat here that shows there is a definite need out there. Individuals just don't feel confident when they go into the financial marketplace to be able to make some decisions and feel a bit overwhelmed. Get into the importance of financial education. Again, this is additional data drawn from the 2016 CFPB National Financial Wellbeing Survey. This survey was conducted to measure the level and distribution of financial well-being in U.S. adult population. Nearly 6,400 people completed the survey, which included both the CFPB's financial well-being scale and around 70 other measures of personal and situational factors that prior research suggests may influence an individual's financial well-being. Financial well-being is defined as a state of being wherein a person can fully meet current and ongoing financial obligations, can be secure in their financial future, is able to make choices that allow them to enjoy life. The results in this slide show that more than 1/3 of adults are experiencing some form of financial insecurity, with 43% having difficulty making ends meet, and 34% experiencing material hardships, such as running out of food, not being able to afford a place to live, or lacking the money needed for medical treatment. is setting up for us that there is a very strong need out there in the U.S. population for the types of tools and resources that the CFPB and their partners are providing to help individuals manage their finances. So looking here at some data additionally from our financial well-being survey, looking at short-term and long-term planning struggles. And here we find many Americans experience certain predictable life events that require planning, in financing one's retirement, funding costs of a child's post-secondary school education. Yet we find only 39% of surveyed respondents said they have a financial planning horizon that is 5 years or more into the future. Additionally, because the future is inherently uncertain, individuals and families also need to make provisions to buffer themselves against financial emergencies or shocks. Being able to weather shocks not only contributes to financial stability at the individual and family level, but also increases the stability of the economy as a whole. Here the data is a bit rosier. 54% of surveyed respondents say they could certainly come up with $2,000 for an unexpected expense, and 52% have a habit of saving. Still, over 40% of U.S. Americans are not equipped with the financial skills necessary to handle any unforeseen circumstance related to money, and the issues that we want to address with the assistance of the libraries. So we have a challenge here. Strong financial ability begins with knowing where to start looking for the information needed to make a financial decision. Consumers may not know where to turn for unbiased help when facing a financial problem or attempting to achieve a financial goal. The CFPB has designed a high-impact, community-focused financial education effort to increase consumer financial skills by making financial tools and resources easily available to everyone. For exposure, we needed a resource present in every community that can help offer free access, biased information, helpful and knowledgeable staff with a high degree of trust. The solution were you guys, the libraries. Community members know and trust you. You as an unbiased source of information. You already have financial resource information and provide it to the community. And your participation in this initiative is a natural extension of what you are already doing. Promote financial literacy by collaborating with the CFPB to become the go-to resource for financial education in your community. Why would the CFPB is your partner? We are a government agency created through the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act of 2010, also known as the Dodd-Frank Act. Part of our legislative mandate, as we alluded to earlier in this presentation, to develop and implement a strategy to improve the financial literacy of consumers. So here on our slide, we built an infrastructure in coordination with libraries and national partners to reach consumers where they are, in neighborhoods. In addition to providing CFPB materials, we also take advantage of existing programs and resources already in the field and expand current financial education efforts already occurring in communities. So here on this list, listing out of our national partners, you'll see that you're very familiar with the library-based organizations like ALA and PLA and RUSA. Also the ARSL, the Association of Rural and Small Libraries. There'll be several other organizations you're probably familiar with, such as FDIC, Federal Trade Commission, the Social Security Administration, and also some that you may not be familiar with, such as the Foundation for Financial Planning and the National Endowment for Financial Education. And perhaps you may not be familiar with the National Foundation for Credit Counseling. These are all organizations that have not just a national presence, but many of them have regional offices, and many have local offices. They're in your community. And we work with these folks to help connect you in the libraries these resources that these national partners, through their local affiliates, have available for you. And so this program, we created it to be built by libraries and for libraries. So we do this. We started by reaching out to libraries across the United States. And so what we did is we went and talked with librarians, and we also talked with patrons. We wanted to know what are the needs of librarians, how do libraries operate, and what are the needs of patrons? What do patrons go in and look for, and what are patrons interested in getting? So what we learned in these conversations were that you all wanted clear financial information and resources, something that is easy to understand and easy to explain to the patron. You mentioned that you wanted some outreach materials, some materials like bookmarks, table tents, posters, flyers, that would advertise that the library is a resource that the patrons can come in and utilize to look up financial education resources. That you wanted a community partnership resources. We have created a community partnership guidebook that helps you wrap your thoughts when you're going to be working with an organization you may not be familiar with. So you want to be able to find out if this organization will be providing financial education resources, and you don't want the organization turning your library into a marketing platform. So we provided resources to help you weed out some of these organizations. Wanted some engaging program ideas, and we do have many of those located on our website. You wanted training. This webinar is one example of the trainings we do. There's also other webinars that we have on our website that are on various topics. And also we are working with the FIRA Investor Education Foundation to provide additional training resources for librarians on a whole variety of financial topics. The other thing, you were pretty loud and clear on this. Don't tell us what to do, just show us where we can get the information. You wanted this to be flexible and customizable. So all of the information on here and on our website, you can go and access and pick and choose whatever it is that you would like to use, however it fits for your community and your community's needs. So here we've created our project, the Community Financial Education Project. You'll see here a screenshot to the right of our website. And our website is at consumerfinance.gov/resources-library. One more time, it is consumerfinance.gov/resources-library. On this, you will be able to find all the information that we have available for libraries. So first up, we have we'd like for librarians to participate in our program. One way to participate is to sign up at financialeducation@cfpb.gov. You can see that here on this slide. Sign up for the library's program. We send out one email a month that alerts you to new tools and resources that we learn are available. Also, of any special events, as you all know, there's Money Smart Week. There are several other special days, weeks, and months throughout the year, and we alert you to those and sources for those. Also, starting a few months ago, we started this section called Spotlight, in which we will interview one of the librarians within our database who will talk about the programming that they have going on in their library. And we want to be able to share some of the stories and practices that other librarians are utilizing in hopes that that may spur you some ideas for you. And also, lots of resources that you will find helpful and passing on to patrons. So we encourage you, if you'd like to sign up, please send an email to financialeducation@cfpb.gov. Next, we have lots of publications that you can order for free. You can see the website listed up here. The info shipped out of Pueblo, and you can order up to 1,000 free copies of each publication. And I believe over 50 different publication titles on that slide. We have information available in English as well as in Spanish. We allow 3 to 4 weeks for delivery. So it's shipped out of a clearinghouse out of Pueblo. But you'll find that the information, the order process is easy to do, and you will receive high-quality printing information. So program, we have developed many program ideas. You'll see here a link down to the website. You can put in the practitioner resources, or to make it easier for you, consumerfinance.gov, library-resources will make it just as easy for you. But at our website, for librarians, we have created personal finance programming ideas on a variety of topics. These program ideas give you a brief description of the topic, ideas of organizations you may contact for potential speakers, and these organizations will have local speakers, all suggested electronic and print resources you can use for distribution. And with all these topics, you may pick and choose which items you would like to use. We designed these programming ideas with maximum flexibility. Encourage you to pick and choose whichever of the components you wish to use. Partnerships were another big thing that we heard from the libraries. And so, as I alluded to before, we have created this community partnership guidebook. The guidebook provides you an overview of the CFPB. It lists out potential national, state, and local partners. And again, we'd like to emphasize that a lot of the national partners we work with do have local presence as well as regional presence. It helps libraries build and strengthen community partnerships. The guide does include staff resources for you to utilize. So this is free. This is available off of the website. You may download it. And feel free to use. There's a nice questionnaire in there when you're working with a new potential partner you're not familiar with. The questionnaire to frame up your thought process on how you want to approach this new organization. We've developed tools to help create awareness in your community. These are PSAs, public service announcements. We have some radio PSAs. We also have some PSAs that were designed to be used in print, so in local newspapers. Also, they could be used as web promotional materials. We encourage you to go look through these things. We know that many libraries across the country have a requirement from their state to be more active in social media. And things like Twitter and Facebook and Instagram are very big on graphics. So feel free to go through and look through some of these web promotional materials. If you're looking for new things to use to promote Money Smart Week, or your library is a place to come to during Money Smart Week, you can find some of these promotional materials that will be very useful. Also, we encourage you to use this throughout the year if you want to keep reminding your patrons in your community that the library here is a resource that you could access at any time to answer any question that you have. Here we've also created awareness within your library. As I stated before, when we were speaking with librarians first developing this project, they said that they wanted some promotional materials to be able to use inside their library. And you see here are examples of some of the promotional materials that we've created. We've got some screensavers, books, table tents, and posters. All of these can be ordered through our distributor in Pueblo, Colorado, or you could download some of them. The electronic ones, the screensavers, you may download, and you can order up to 1,000 copies of each. So if you're in a large system and you want to send them throughout the system, you can order up to 1,000 of each of these to have distributed throughout the system. But we encourage you to use these and as often as you like. So what are some next steps? go through here. This is going to be pretty much of a recap of some of the things that we just discussed. So first of all, we encourage you to participate in our project, and do this by signing up by sending me an email at financialeducation@cfpb.gov. We encourage you to order publications through our distributor at Pueblo, Colorado. Again, you may order up to 1,000 of these copies of each of these print materials. With programs, we know that a lot of libraries are doing a lot of adult programming in their libraries, and they're always looking for new ideas of what to do. So you'll see on our website, you'll be able to find programs that you can pick and choose wherever you want. It may spark ideas, and when you talk to partners, you may get some additional ideas, but we think this will get the ball rolling for you. Partnerships. Our partnership guidebook guides you with a framework for developing partners in both local and national organizations. And also, you may feel free to reach out to me here at the CFPB. I have been, for many librarians across the country, have received emails asking for help and trying to connect to some local partners. I always tell them, if I can go and find that person, if I can get my hands on them, you can get your hands on them. So I'm always happy to try to be able to help make these connections for you. And finally, with patrons, creating awareness in your community. And you've seen the two types of resources that we offer that are promotional with your library, to let patrons who come in know that the library is a place that has some fair, unbiased financial education information that the patrons may utilize. And also personal activities for outside of the library to raise awareness within the community has these kind of resources, and that you help patrons to access them. A couple other ways in which you can keep in touch with us. Again, here is our website, consumerfinance.gov/library-resources. You can join us on LinkedIn at CFPB Financial Education Discussion Groups. And in that, you will a lot of other adult financial educators across the country. So the LinkedIn group may be a great way for you to learn about new partners in your area that can help you provide financial education programming in your library. And I'm always open to hearing your comments and questions. Any way that we can be of assistance to you, we will do all that we can to help you out. You all represent one of the best channels to reach consumers that we've ever come across. And I'd say in the past 3 years that I've been working on this project, it has been a great honor and privilege to work with librarians. You are an amazing group to work with, and I'm very happy to have this opportunity to work with you. Yay.
At this time, we'd like to begin the question and answer session of today's conference. If you would like to ask a question at this time, please press star, then 1. You must record your first and last name to ask your question, and to withdraw your question, you may press star, then 2. Once again, if you would like to ask a question at this time, press star, then 1, and record your first and last name. 1 moment for the first question, please.
For everyone to queue in, we did receive one question came in saying, can we definition of financial insecurity? My colleague here looked this up in our report on financial well-being, and financial insecurity is defined as material hardships, including running out of food, worrying about running out of food, being able to afford a place to live or medical treatment, or being utilities turned off. This is the definition that we've had of financial insecurity. Other questions?
We have questions over the phone at this time.
Okay, that's fine. All of you, at a later date, if you think of something later on, please feel free to reach out to us at financialeducation@cfpb.gov. My name is Ken McDonald. I'm the person who monitors that inbox, and I'm the guy who will be responding to you. So please feel free at any time if you're thinking of something or you have a patron come in with a question that you just can't find anything, feel free to reach out to me, and I'll help you out as much as I possibly can. Questions, I'd like to take this time then to thank you all for participating in this webinar, for listening in to us. Also encourage you to, again, if you're interested in signing up for our project, please send an email to financialeducation@cfpb.gov and put in your signature all the contact information that we'll need, like your name, street address, and your email address. And I will acknowledge that. I'll let you know that we received it, and we will add you into our database. And again, please feel free to reach out to us in the future if you have any other questions or comments. We're more than happy to help you out. And again, thank you all for attending.
Thank you for participation on today's conference call. At this time, all parties may disconnect.